Okay, so a bit ago, a gentleman by the name of James Wisdom, who is a YouTuber and a friend of mine, talked about trends, and he specifically discussed fidget spinners, which is a dumb trend. And everybody is going out there getting fidget spinners. Fidget spinners are running anywhere from $2 to $2,000, depending on how nice of one you want. There are tutorials on how to make fidget spinners. There are Batman fidget spinners. And everyone... I'm better now. And everyone is obsessed with fidget spinners. I have been seriously dying of dust. This really dusty in here. Anyway, everyone has seriously been loving the fidget spinner. Well, here's the thing about trends. They're dumb. I mean, remember Pogs? There was one time even the LAPD gave out a Pog. And they were these things as... You had slammers, and there were these little round discs, and you hit them with the slammer, and they flipped over. And if they flipped over, you got to keep them, and if you didn't, you had to give them to the person you were playing against, or some crud like that. Pogs. They were like trading cards, only smaller and stupider. And now everybody's forgotten about them. I don't even know if you can still buy Pogs, but that's what they were. I never played. I know I had a few Pogs, but I never played with them. And, I mean, you know, there were the Mighty Beans. I don't think anybody remembers those, but that was a collectible thing at one time, Mighty Beans. And there were Garbage Pail Kids. Well, you know, before any of this, let me tell you about a trend. In the, I believe it was the Elizabethan era, at one time it was a trend to get tooth decay because sugar was expensive. If you had enough money to eat all that sugar, you had enough money to have tooth decay. So this was a trend. People would go around and get their teeth all messed up on purpose in order to look wealthy. Only thing is that tooth decay really, really hurts. So yeah, just one of the things about trends is you should probably examine a trend and think, is this going to hurt me in some way? If so, maybe don't do that trend. I mean, buying a fidget spinner, if it's a little one and not expensive one, as long as you've got the money, you know, hey, have your toys. Look, I'm filming this on a $1,000 camera, and look what YouTube has done for me, just about nothing. So, I can't argue with that, but you have to understand that trends are dumb. I mean, the oldest trend I've ever read about happened in ancient Rome, believe it or not, and it was a dietary trend. This comes from the book The Nuts Among the Berries, I believe, and there was a doctor in Rome who was obsessed with cabbage. And he went, there's an airplane, he went and he fed everybody cabbage. And he thought that cabbage was the miracle food that would save everybody's lives. Well, he went to a certain part of Rome to try to take care of the plague and died of plague. So, no. And that airplane's annoying. But I will have to say this much. A big problem with the Roman diet is they had a lack of vitamin C, which is plentiful in cabbage. So, that's why that health trend tended to not be so stupid. Although, just remember something about cabbage. It has a high sulfur content. So, yeah, if you're sharing a bed with somebody, or even a house with somebody, or perhaps a building, just remember that you're going to be blasting the song of the cabbage all day long if you eat too much cabbage. It's just, But yeah, so what can we take away from this? I mean, I don't remember buddy bands or anything, but just try to remember that trends tend to be stupid. There are some trends that have really caught on, like, you know, the internet. But that became a useful part of our life. Fidget spinners are not going to be terribly useful for anyone for huge parts of their life. So I think at one point they're going to disappear. You tell me down in the comments below, what do you think? Are they going to disappear? Are they going to be the next Pogs? Because, I mean, I don't even think anybody remembered Pogs enough to talk about them in relation to fidget spinners. So yeah, I mean, seriously, think about it. Or, for all we know, they could be the next trading cards. Remember trading cards? Of course you do, because they still make those things. Anyway, that's my 50 cents on the matter. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm Richard.